Look at us. We are a membership of 9 here, and that's including my wife and I. Um, but the fact that we are small, and I suppose if you came to our Sunday service, you'd see something that was pretty traditional Welsh chapel. But it doesn't mean to say that we have to be restricted. Well, this is the Liberty Stadium, the home to the Swans and the Ospreys, of course. It's our local stadium, and the reason I'm showing you this is because I want to say something about liberty and freedom. Because that's really what our little project here in Bonymaen is all about. We call it living here and working here. That sums it up reasonably well. But Bonymaen is, statistically, a deprived area, and there is nothing that curtails people's freedom, their liberty, more than poverty, I think. And that's why we are doing what we are doing. I think that Christian faith is about freedom, is about the freedom to be imaginative. We are free to do something. We're free in the faith of Christ to try things out. We're not frightened of our circumstances. We have been working, well, I would say, increasingly closely on this food bank. The food bank is supported by the local authority, and one of the primary collectors for us is the City and County of Swansea. There are collection boxes in all 3 of the major council offices.
That's right, yeah.
How do you think it's going, Paul?
I think, I'm pleased. You know, we're third, fourth week now, and I'm pleased that people have been so generous all around in City and County, and people have just literally dropped in with donations. I'm so pleased that both churches have been so cooperative, and that's what really made my day, is the fact that the whole community is working together to try to tackle the issue in the City and County of Swansea. It's a manifesto commitment from the Labour Party that we will tackle poverty, and here is one way of tackling poverty, and there are many others which obviously we're tackling in the ward and
try to
all other wards
work together as much as possible, and this is a great example of how denominations can work together to serve the community, and it's so great to have the local council on board who, without their effort, we could not have achieved this. It's up and running and a very useful help to members of our community who are in difficulty and who need help. And just grateful to be a part of it. The local community have been very, very generous.
I think it is absolutely wonderful. I've never, ever, ever in my lifetime, I've lived where I live in 88, okay? And I've never, ever seen anything like this. Owing to this man here, Chris, and his dear wife Janet, don't forget. And what they had done, this man have done up here, I am more than proud. He knows that, and his wife Janet. So as a resident here, I'm speaking from the heart. And I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Food bank volunteer at the East Side Food Bank. We've been open for a month. We've had 8 people come in for food packages so far, and we've got 40 volunteers altogether. This is Mitchell Figo, and he's in charge.
Hi, that's not true. My name is Mitch Theaker. I'm a councillor for Swansea Council and the cabinet member for opportunities for children and young people. And we were really pleased as Swansea Council to support the Swansea East Side Food Bank in getting it set up here in the Mount Zion Baptist Church with the Reverend Chris Lewis and a whole pool of volunteers, as Ashley said. We identified as a council that we really needed to make sure we had a food bank set up in the east side of the city, which is the significantly most deprived part. It has an average of 13 years less life expectancy, huge amounts of poverty. So we needed to make sure that we had a food bank set up here. And as soon as we said that we needed one, Chris was the first person, and the Mount Zion Baptist Church were the first group to say that they would help us volunteer, they would set it up. And since then it's been running really effectively, and it's gone from strength to strength. But I don't think it can be emphasised enough that if it wasn't for the people here and the effort that people like Chris and his wife Janet and all the volunteers put in, we wouldn't have had a food bank set up. Swansea Council tried as hard as we could, but without the actual capacity and drive of the people that in places like this, it wouldn't have happened. But it's also attracted a whole host of people who wouldn't normally come here to actually turn up. So I had never been here before getting to know Chris, and I've never been here as much as I have now with setting up the food bank.
One of the things we've been doing in the earlier part of this summer anyway, some summer it's beginning to rain again, is to give away seeds. This is again something funded by the City and County of Swansea under their Grow Local scheme, and it's sort of complementary to this resource garden in which I'm standing. But the idea is that people don't come here and work, but people go home and do it for themselves at home. But you know, we hope that they draw some inspiration from what's here. I don't know what the future is. We're travelling hopefully. I think that's the answer. I think if I had really too much of a vision or a closed, completed picture of what our future would be, that would be, bordering on blasphemous, really. It's just a great joy to be part of the creative process in which we are graciously involved in Jesus Christ. Who knows where it will lead? I don't know, but I'm hopeful.